Welcome students. In this video I am going to teach class 7 students history, and we will be revising lesson 7, the making of a composite culture. So first let me introduce the topic. The medieval period in India saw the making of Hindu and the Muslim cultures. One of the results of this was the development of the new religious ideas. It had an impact on art, literature and music as well. During this period, social status and professions were caste-based and decided at birth. The lower caste was denied the social privileges and not allowed to enter temples. Some people tried to escape social discrimination by converting to Buddhism and Jainism, which preached social equality. The growth of trade and new crafts have created opportunities for people to change their caste-based professions. Some religious thinkers received the idea of bhakti, that is devotion, mentioned in the ancient texts such as Bhagavad Gita and the Purans. They started the bhakti movement, which laid stress on devotion and not on complex rituals to worship God. Bhakti saints also preached devotion to a personal God, either with form, that is Saguna, or without any form, that is Nirguna. They preached in local languages and therefore had a large following among the common people. So the first movement which has been introduced during that period and which has a composite culture, that is the Bhakti movement, which has started in South India. The Bhakti movement began in South India around the 7th century in Vishnu and Shiva temples of Tirupati and Kanchi. It has begun by the Alvar saints who were Vaishnavas and the Narayan saints who were Shaivas. Vaishnavas are the devotees of Lord Vishnu and Shivas are the devotees of Lord Shiva. These saints basically promoted caste equality. Some of them also preached the equality among men and women. All this helped reduce the social evils. It also put a check on Hindus becoming Hindus, Buddhists or Jains to escape the social discrimination. The Narayan and Alvar saints composed many hymns and hagiographies. Devram and Divya Prabandham are the collections of the Narayan and Alvar hymns respectively. Tiruvasangam is a collection of hymns composed by Manika Vasagar, a Narayan saint. Shankaracharya preached the Advaita philosophy. Ramanuja preached the Vishvadvaita philosophy. The Nath Panthis practiced Nirguna Bhakti through yoga, and the Virashivas, led by Basava, condemned the caste system, idol worship, meaningless rituals and discrimination against women. Most of the Bhakti saints of Maharashtra like Janeshwar, Namadev, Tukaram, Ekanand and Chokmela were Vaishnavas. They were family men. They composed devotional poems in Marathis. Janeshwar wrote Janeshwari, a Marathi commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. The saint Ramanujam worshipped Vishnu. Mirabai, Vallabhacharya, Surdas and Chaitanya worshipped Krishna. Ramananda worshipped Ram and Kabir worshipped a god without any form. During the Sultanate period, there were several religious movements. Sufism, an offshoot of Islam, preached devotion to God and brotherhood among men. The Sufi orders, Chishti and Suravardi, became popular in India. The Sufi Firs and the Bhakti saints preached in local languages and rejected caste discrimination. Kabir, who believed in the single formless God who could be worshipped in various ways. He rejected meaningless rituals and all forms of social discrimination. He conveyed his simple messages through verses, collections of which are found in the Adi Granth of Sikh, the Kabir Granth Wali and Bijak. Their Kabir followers were called Kabir Panthis. Guru Nanak, who founded Sikhism, rejected caste discrimination, idol worship, and rituals. He preached the worship of a formless God through the guidance of a Guru. The holy book of the Sikh is the Guru Granth Sahib. Literary and artistic developments in the medieval period. Language and literature. Paper began to be made in India by using a Chinese methods. Many old texts were copied on paper. Works on Hindu laws were being produced. Sanskrit works were translated into Arabic and Persian. Turks have made the Persian language the official language of the Delhi Sultanate. Amir Khusrau, who was a great poet, musician and the historian of the time, he has created a new style of Persian that was called Sabak-e-Hindi, or the style of India. The architecture. The Indo-Islamic style of architecture evolved in India due to the mixing of Arabic and Persian styles with Hindu and Buddhist style. The sultans built mosques, palaces, forts, towers in this new style. Arcs and domes commonly used in Central Asian architecture, which were used to construct large halls without pillars. Paintings. The artists of the medieval period painted excellent miniatures. Miniatures was used to decorate books. Some artists even started painting portraits. The last part of the artistic development in the medieval period is music. During the Sultanate period, the Turks brought with them the musical traditions of the Central Asia. They introduced many musical instruments such as rabab and sarangi in India. The rulers and nobles, they have encouraged the musical gathering. The Indo-Islamic interaction that took place during the Sultanate period continued throughout the Mughal period. So my dear students, I hope you all must have revised the chapter well. Thank you so much for watching.